It's unreal, it really is. That's the only word to use about this situation, because Deion Sanders has not only got one 5-star recruit to go to Colorado, but he has gotten 2, and only, what has it been, 2 or 3 months? No, wait a minute, he hasn't even been at Colorado that long. It's only been a month. Whoa. Hold on. I was working on a completely different type of video, and out of nowhere, my phone starts blowing up. Ding, 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 ding. I check it. I'm like, man, what is going on? And I see all of your guys' messages telling me that Deion has done it again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a warning, and I know some of you are going, Matt, why are you screaming? This isn't that big of a deal, and I beg to differ. This is a huge deal, and although it is a big deal, I can't say I'm shocked because I predicted this 3 days ago. Yeah, that's right. You see it right here. I said this was going to happen. So, with that being said, if you're an avid viewer of the channel, you shouldn't be shocked by this either. However, although I can predict this is going to happen, it's still not the same until you officially hear the news. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got a big, and I mean a big topic to go over in this video. Also got some other minor topics to go over, including Lane Kiffin has yet another quarterback coming to Ole Miss. What is he doing? Yesterday he added a quarterback, and today he added a new one. Also, we got to talk about the former #1 tight end in NCAA recruiting history who's leaving Georgia to go to this new school. I got a jam-packed video for you guys tonight. I know it's going to be uploaded really late, and I apologize for it, but like I said, this news just came out. If you like college football content or stuff like this, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Join our amazing community. By the way, shout out to everybody that is subscribed. Love you guys. And yeah, Matt, blah, 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 shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. First thing is first, you guys know how I like to read some of the questions you send me on Twitter, and we're going to open up the video with this question because it goes hand in hand with our first topic, that being Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. On Twitter, Zyla Primetime said, question, I'm an Ole Miss diehard fan from Tupelo, Mississippi. What do you think about Ole Miss in 2023? If there is one person I can ask for an honest answer, it is you. Thanks for all you do, and thank you for the comment, and thank you for those nice words. The thing with Ole Miss is, and it's why I love this question, is because you can make an argument for either case. You could argue and say, hey, Matt, I think they could go 10-2 or 11-1, and I couldn't fault you for it. But also, if you told me, hey, Matt, I think Ole Miss is going to go 7-5, 6-6, I also couldn't fault you for it. Ole Miss is the wild card. I wouldn't even say LSU's a wild card in the SEC next year because you know what you're going to get out of LSU. LSU, more than likely, every single year is going to win 9, 10, 11 games. That's just how it is. Same thing for Alabama. With Ole Miss, who knows? And also got to bring this up, they had a terrible recruiting class. I don't even know what they wound up finishing. You know what? Let's go check it real quick. Got to pull it up right here. Ole Miss finished 39th in recruiting. That's terrible. It really is terrible. When Iowa State, Illinois, UCLA, and Virginia Tech out-recruit you, Maryland out-recruits you, that's a problem. So to answer the question, as far as it goes for Ole Miss next year, I have a hard time believing you're going to win 10 football games. You got to take a look at things. Next year alone, you play Alabama, LSU, and Georgia. You're looking at 3 L's right there alone. Most people are not picking you to win those games. And to go on top of that, you got to go to Mississippi State. That's always a tight and close game. And you got to go to Auburn. I'll put it this way. We got to get a move on. We are definitely going to see what Lane Kiffin's made out of next season. This year, everybody gave him the excuse because of all the nonsense going on at the end of the year, but next year, he's not getting an excuse. I understand the expectations and the standard levels at Ole Miss isn't the same as Alabama or Georgia. However, I also understand y'all do expect to have a good football team. Y'all do expect to be competitive. Y'all do expect to compete for an SEC championship. Should y'all expect that? I don't know, but Ole Miss fans do. For Ole Miss next year with the schedule, and it's not so much that I don't believe in Ole Miss, it's more so of the schedule is tough. You're looking at an 8-win football team, and that's give or take. It could be a 6-win team, or maybe at best case scenario, it could be a 10-win team. It's just rough, man, and I don't have to sit up here and tell you the SEC West is rough. Y'all get it. Now, if Ole Miss was in the Pac-12, the ACC, or Big Ten, oh, we're talking about competing for the conference championship. We're talking about a 10 or 11-win team, no doubt about it. But the problem is, you're in the SEC West. It is what it is. Staying on track here at Ole Miss, it has been announced earlier today, and makes no sense to me whatsoever. Ole Miss landed the transfer quarterback Spencer Sanders from Oklahoma State. Now, I know what you're sitting there saying. Yo, Matt, why is it shocking? Why is it weird? Because Ole Miss has their starting quarterback coming back next season. But hold on, it gets better. Yesterday, we talked about the news, how LSU's transfer quarterback, he's also going to Ole Miss. And you mean to tell me only a day later, another transfer quarterback who expects to start is coming into Ole Miss? What is Lane Kiffin doing? Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss now have the most crowded quarterback room in the country. There's no debate. You got 3 guys who all of them they expect to start. Spencer Sanders has been playing college football for now like 4 or 5 years, so he's not going to go into Ole Miss expecting to sit the bench. And it's the same situation with the Walker Howard kid. He was a top 5 quarterback only a year ago. Do you think he's really going to Ole Miss to sit the bench? No. So where I'm at in this situation is I feel bad for Jackson Dart because Lane Kiffin is backstabbing him. Call it what you want, but that's how it is. Imagine you're the starting quarterback at your high school team, or you're the starting point guard for your high school team, and then your head coach, he brings in 2 other new quarterbacks or 2 other new point guards. Are you not at least going to feel a little bit upset about that? I know I would. It's just kind of strange because I felt like and I thought that Lane Kiffin really liked Jackson Dart, but apparently not. And for those of you saying, oh, Matt, he does like Jackson Dart. No, he doesn't, because if he really liked him, he wouldn't have went out and got 2 other quarterbacks. It makes no sense whatsoever. You didn't see Nick Saban in this recent offseason going looking for another quarterback or 2 in the transfer portal. Why didn't he? Because he had Bryce Young. When you got your guy, you're not looking in the transfer portal. So what this tells me is Lane Kiffin does not believe in Jackson Dart whatsoever. It's a shame, it really is, because I like the Jackson Dart kid. I thought he played well last season. Did he mess up here and there? Yeah, but you got to realize he was only a sophomore. One of the weirdest situations I've seen up to date, getting back on track here with all these young men, it's going to be a crap show. It is going to be a mess. And the reason I say that, yet again, is because all 3 of these guys, they expect to start. I'm almost positive we'll hear more details about that in the future, and I'll keep you guys updated. Moving on to our last topic before we get into the main one. Only going to talk about this for like 30 or 45 seconds. The breaking news came out only about 4 or 5 hours ago that Georgia's tight end, Arik Gilbert, he is leaving Georgia to go to Nebraska. For those of you that don't know, and I've been following up with this guy since high school, he's the #1 ranked tight end of all time when it comes to tight ends. He was supposed to be this generational type of talent. He was really supposed to be playing like how Brock Bowers was playing. Long story short, it hasn't been well. It hasn't been well. That doesn't make sense. It hasn't been good. That's better. He started out at LSU, didn't like things, transferred to Georgia, and had a lot of off-the-field issues. It didn't appear or seem like he was ever going to play at Georgia too much in the first place, and I tried telling Georgia fans this from the start. It wasn't because Arik Gilbert is a bad tight end or he's washed up. It's because Brock Bowers is just that good. And also, Georgia had Darnell Washington. I'm going to keep this one short and simple. Him going to Nebraska, I think it's a great fit because it's a breath of fresh air. It's a new start. I think Nebraska could use them, and if I am a Nebraska fan, I'm overly excited about this. It's a big pickup, but now finally moving on to the main topic, the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto the video. We got to talk about what Coach Prime is doing at Colorado and this new 5-star recruit he has added. Yeah, I don't know a way to ease into this or another way to say it, but the breaking news just came out that 5-star cornerback, the top cornerback in the class of 2023, Cormani McClain, he has flipped his commitment from Miami to Colorado. Big pickup, to say the least. Big pickup, because now Coach Prime not only has 1 5-star cornerback, but now he has 2. He has the #1 cornerback in the class of 2022 and the #1 cornerback in the class of 2023. It's unreal, it really is. That's the only word to use about this situation, because Deion Sanders has not only got 1 5-star recruit to go to Colorado, but he has gotten 2, and only, what has it been, 2 or 3 months? No, wait a minute. He hasn't even been at Colorado that long. It's only been a month. It's unreal. This is legendary stuff, and the reason I'm so excited about this, because this is great for college football. It gives us some parity. I like it, man, because I want the Pac-12 to be relevant. I want more than just 1 team to be good in the Pac-12. Ooh, hold on. Wait a minute. I just stumbled across this on Twitter. Here's something interesting that Mr. Carl Reed tweeted out on Twitter. He said, quote unquote, I asked Cormani McClain and his mom why Deion Sanders in Colorado, and he also told him that it was a football decision, not an NIL decision. What do y'all think about that? I just think it's kind of funny because he said, yeah, this ain't about money, but in the video, he's wearing a Gucci shirt. I'm not saying that discredits what he says. It's just ironic. Check out what this person has to say on Twitter. How is anyone going to, they mean to say, out recruit Prime? Especially at the DB position. The greatest comes to your house and wants to coach you. Easy decision. And I agree. Somebody said, I'm sorry, wait until he finds out that Deion can't coach. He's just a coach. I don't care what anybody says. That's funny. Y'all know how I feel about Deion. I love everything about him. I do gotta say, though, that is the one question mark people have about him, the X's and O's. We know he's an outstanding recruiter, but he's definitely going to prove if he knows what he's really talking about in these up-and-coming seasons. I'm excited for it. Now, as far as it goes for Mr. Cormani McClain flipping from Miami to Colorado, let's talk about that for just a second. By the way, congratulations, Cormani, but here's my thing with this. Why was Miami even an option? They're terrible. They're terrible. They really are. And I already know their fans are going to say, well, Matt, we got a top 10 recruiting class. Well, that doesn't matter. You still suck. We saw Texas A&M have the best recruiting class of all time, and they didn't even make a bowl game. Me personally, I only think Miami was an option because of the NIL. As far as it goes for Cormani McClain flipping to Colorado, I know money was not involved because Colorado doesn't have any money. Say what you want, Colorado does not have any money. This was a long-term investment decision, and I back it 100%. If you're a defensive cornerback, you should narrow your options down to 3 schools: Alabama, Georgia, or wherever Deion Sanders is at, and that's it. The reason I say that is because Nick Saban, NFL connections, Kirby Smart, NFL connections, and Deion Sanders, NFL connections, and he played the position. And when I throw Alabama in there, a lot of people get confused, but they fail to realize that Nick Saban, he specializes in defensive backs and corners. That's what he works on the most. A lot of people to this day, they don't even know that. I could sit up here for the next 5 minutes and just ramble as to why this is a big pickup. You guys know it. You understand it. I am curious, though. Let me know your thoughts down below. But